Hi Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope for December 2024. Thanks for joining me. My horoscopes are based on the UK time zone, so please take that into account and watch them in this order for your rising sign first, then your sun sign, and finally your moon sign. Okay, so I'm going to break December down into 4 weeks. I'm going to pay attention to how the moon moves through your chart, which houses and when, so that you get an idea of where you're supported and in what areas of life in December. Okay, so week 1, Sunday the 1st until Sunday the 8th of December. On the 1st and 2nd, the moon is in Sagittarius and it's in your 10th house of career. So I'm filming this today on the 1st. These 2 days for you are likely to be very, very good for you in your work, literally, but also you're likely to be on top of things in your career to the extent where you can consider other options moving forward that may be a better fit for you at this point in your life based on everything you've learned and all the experience you've got and everything you've been through. It may be that you're inspired now to change your role or to upgrade your working life, and ultimately you have this optimism and this hope and this real potential to enjoy your work or to understand what you like doing the most, so that you can make changes in that regard if things aren't 100% on point as of now. That particularly peaks today when we have a new moon in Sagittarius. I don't want to belch on camera. I made a separate video on the new moon in Sagittarius, but for you as a Pisces, it does happen in your 10th house of career. So that's the area where it supports you the most. And it's pulling all this fire energy in. And that is really about my purpose, my passion, and how can I implement that? And I'm really excited to do that. So it's a really great start to the month in that regard. On the 3rd and 4th, the moon goes into Capricorn and it joins Pallas in Capricorn in your 11th house. So I always interpret Pallas as wisdom. So I really feel that you have a great deal of clarity over these 2 days as far as your relationships with other people are concerned. I also feel that you're going to be incredibly warm and you're going to be incredibly interested in other people and their well-being, and that you can also work very well creatively. So whether it's writing music or being a sculptor or a florist or an artist or working with mosaic tile, your imagination is fired and you can capture it in some sort of tangible format. The 5th, 6th, and 7th sees the moon going into Aquarius in your 12th house of spirituality and spiritual strength. And Aquarius is like the number 11 in numerology. It's the master number of service. And it's really, how can I help other people by teaching them or sharing with them what I know, or again, being charitable in some way. It sits next to Pluto in Aquarius. So it's kind of interesting because I feel the higher realms, your higher self, the universe, your guides, your ancestors, your angels, your spirit animals, whatever you call that and whatever you feel connected to, they want to be of service to you by giving you some sort of insight into who you are that you can implement moving forward. That means you have a much more tailored experience. So what I mean, for instance, if you think, I'm an artist, but I also work as I'm not going to use this example because I always pick on accountants. I work as a solar panel technician, right? But I feel that I'm an artist, but I don't think I could pay the bills with that. You'll have some sort of insight or visitation or realization on the 5th, 6th, and 7th that says, just try it and then write it off if it doesn't work. But please have a go. You may be surprised that this works. And if you have any sense like that, please have a go, because the information that's going to come through is designed to help you and is designed for you to make changes in your life so that you're delighted with your everyday experience and that you have more than enough abundance as far as finances and money is concerned. On the 6th of December, we've got Mars going retrograde until the 23rd of February next year. Mars is ambition and drive, and it's in Leo, which is a little overly confident and overly ambitious. When it retrogrades here, pretty much for the next 3 months, for you, I think it comes across as in you're not so invested in doing anything that you're not genuinely interested in. And it's going to be harder for you to keep doing tasks and duties that you really dislike, and that you may have to be a little bit more disciplined with that. On the plus side, Mars in Leo can be a little bombastic. So expect any conflict with other people to ease off, particularly in your working life, if there has been any. On the 7th of December, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and the female principle, it ingresses into Aquarius and it joins Pluto and Aquarius in your 12th house. So again, creative insights and the ability to get creative with your circumstances and to give yourself more options. So if you felt stuck, or if you felt like this situation is hopeless, it will never change, with the shift of Venus, your perspective really alters and it's much more hopeful, as in anything is possible. And I feel that a shift in the seasons here, as in now things are going to be different and less stressful, and I have the opportunity to make changes if I want, and I don't need anyone else's permission. All I need to do is listen to my gut. Neptune is an outer planet and it's the higher octave of Venus, and that goes direct until the 4th of July next year, and it goes direct in your sign, Pisces, in your first house of self. So you'll find it much easier to connect with people who are on the same page as you are. So if you're looking to expand your social circle, to make friends, even if you're interested in love and romance, it'll be much easier to actually find what you're looking for. And it sets the stage for you to meet someone who's very aligned with who you truly are. At the same time, we've got Saturn in Pisces in your first house. So this is wonderful because if you've questioned, hey, certain things aren't working for me in my life, should I change? Or should I keep doing what I'm doing and wait for things to work out? With those two placements, keep doing what you're doing. While Neptune is direct, it's much more likely that people and places and things come into your life that you want to come into your life and who have been absent until now. And then on the 8th, the moon goes into Pisces in your first house of self. And also I'm jumping into week 2 here, but it stays there on the 9th as well. But it joins Saturn and Neptune in that first house of self. So with a ton of your energy being present, I feel the 8th and 9th are simply very good for you to have a wonderful sense of well-being, being able to practice good self-care, working creatively again, but also the ability to dream of a better future and starting to see it clearly so that you can actually move towards it in a practical way. And that's at its peak and most powerful on the 8th of December, when the moon reaches its second quarter, it's waxing and getting bigger, on its way to becoming a full moon on the 15th of December. Okay, so in the first 8 days, the moon moves from your 10th house of work and ends up in your first house of self. So that's the 4th quadrant and the first house of who you are. So it's about experiencing things that you haven't before in work and in your relationships, and really feeling a sense of accomplishment and hooray and gratitude and aren't I lucky as a result of that. And that continues on into the 9th of December. So week 2, Monday to Sunday, the 9th to the 15th of December. On the 9th, the moon is still in that space, and then it moves on into Aries on the 10th and the 11th. So now it shifts drastically, and we're back to work and career and making money and securities. And Mars joins Chiron in Aries in your second house on the 10th and the 11th. So if there's anything that you're not happy with in your working life, or how much money you're making, or your setup as far as living is concerned, you'll be able to take action on those 2 days to heal that to a certain degree, but certainly you'll know what needs doing so that you can change that permanently and fundamentally in your life. On the 12th and 13th, the moon goes into Taurus in your third house of communication, and it joins Uranus in Taurus. And Uranus is the planet of the miraculous, the unexpected, chaotic, and really what seems unlikely to happen. So if the 2 days before, on the 10th and the 11th, you're like, okay, work and money isn't where I want it to be, let's look at, now that I realize that, let's look at our other options. The great thing about this is that the day or two later, the 12th and 13th of December, you'll immediately find an upgrade to your current circumstances. And if you seize that opportunity, it will pay off. On the 14th and 15th, the moon continues on and goes into Gemini, sign of communication, problem solving, and it joins the good luck planet Jupiter in Gemini in your fourth house of your family, your roots, and what makes you feel like you belong. So it's similar to what happened in the first week, as in you go through this good process and afterwards you feel great about it. Here in the second week, you realize, hey, I can make these upgrades to my income. And then if you use the 14th and 15th to spend with family and people who are close to you or friends who are like family, you'll have a wonderful time and you can celebrate this wonderful new info that you now have. And if you're able to be around people and to share the good news, it will really feel very enjoyable on the 14th and 15th, particularly on the 15th of December when we have a full moon in Gemini. So the full moon is when the moon reaches its completion point in its 28-day cycle, and it celebrates itself. It goes, I made it, I can let go of all of this. And that's why we often feel the energy of the full moon so strongly. And Gemini is really about finding a different door through and finding an alternative and a better way forward. So you've got reason to celebrate. Also on the same day, the planet that rules Gemini is Mercury. And that goes direct on the 15th of December in your 10th house of career. It's been retrograde since the 25th of November. If you've experienced issues with communication or transportation, expect that to lessen. But the great thing about Mercury retrograde is that we either see things differently than we usually do, or we have different experiences. And you had a great different experience as far as your working life is concerned on the 1st and 2nd. So things now get back to normal. But the good luck also extends itself into your closest relationships, and you can just have a fun time and not have to worry about being misunderstood or having to watch what you say, censoring yourself. So week 2, the moon moves from your first house of self and it ends in your fourth house of family. So that's quadrant 1 and then the fourth house. So again, it's that process of I'm getting clear, I'm seeing better options, and I get to celebrate that and feel like I'm home by the end of week 2. Week 3, Monday to Sunday, the 16th to the 22nd of December. On the 16th and 17th, the moon is in Cancer. Again, great for love, romance, starting new relationships. Also, you have the confidence to take an emotional risk, which is what a date is, isn't it? Because they can go horribly wrong. And also, even I would say, the optimism to say, well, the last 500 didn't work so well, maybe this one will. Which, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it takes some mental discipline sometimes to say, okay, I'm actually going to do this and try again. Even though I have the belief that we always have to keep trying, regardless. But it can just the mountain can seem to become bigger and bigger and bigger. On this day, you'll have the confidence and you'll assume that things go well, which is often a self-fulfilling prophecy in itself. And then on the 18th, 19th, and 20th, the moon goes into Leo, and it joins Mars in Leo in retrograde in your 6th house of work and daily routines and structures of your life, even your physical health and your physical body. So again, I think this is a 3-day period where you can celebrate the sense of accomplishment. I took a risk and I'm proud of myself for it. I have lots of energy. Life is fun. and full of opportunity and potential. I want to exercise, do sports to enjoy myself, spend time with other people to enjoy myself. There's no worry about conflict or being misunderstood. So if you have time to either do something physically that you enjoy doing on the 18th, 19th, 20th, please do so. Also, if you're able to be around other people, please do, you'll have fun. On the 21st and 22nd, the moon goes into Virgo. And that's really, Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, which is now direct. And Virgo is about assessing the situation and making sense of it, sometimes even healing it, right? So with the moon being in Virgo in your 7th, it opposes Saturn and your transiting ascendant and Neptune in Pisces. So that's more good news as far as your existing relationships are concerned. And it's more understanding as far as your new relationships are concerned. As in, you'll find it very easy to see if you're compatible with someone or not. And there's no potential to, do mental gymnastics and to try and make it fit. So I would say that's another good 2-day period to go on dates and also to contemplate certain relationships and to get to a decision if a decision needs to be made. On the 21st as well, we've got a change of the seasons and the sun goes into Capricorn and it moves into your 11th house of hopes and dreams. And for you Pisces, that's really what I think this month is about. Your hopes and dreams being realized, particularly in areas that you've checked out of because it hasn't worked for such a long time that you've given up. And this month, the universe surprises you and delivers something really fab and unexpected and puts a big smile on your face. So expect great things in lots of different areas. Week 3, the moon moves through your 5th house and it ends up in your 7th house. So that's very much the right-hand side of your chart. And week 3 is you find what you're looking for, particularly in the area of love and what you love. So regardless of what shape and form that shows up in, expect something wonderful to come into your life in the 3rd week that you'll want to celebrate. Week 4, Monday to Tuesday, 23rd to 31st of December. On the 23rd, 24th and 25th, we've got the moon in Libra. So 24th, we've got Christmas Eve, 25th, Christmas Day, and Hanukkah begins at sundown. So the moon in Libra is in your 8th house of communities and formal institutions and authorities. So if you're in a position where you're spending the holidays by yourself, I think what will really benefit you, what you actually would enjoy, even if you don't enjoy this kind of thing under normal circumstances, is attending some sort of a group celebration. I remember I went to visit my sister in Florida a few years ago. And while I was there, I went to a meeting. And I didn't realize, but they had like this whole meal and everything. And there were hundreds of people, and it was such a great sense of community. So, that kind of thing isn't for everyone. Whether it's a meeting or a club or an organization or something. But like I said, even if that's the kind of thing where you don't enjoy yourself, like spending time with strangers, I think this time you will. And also, I think it's a good opportunity to do something different and new, because then you're making room for chance in your life. And in my experience, when you take chance and desire and a sense of I'm in a good spot, miraculous things can happen. So one hand, I would say, over this 3-day period, try and do something new and different. And especially if it involves a big organizational group thing. On the 26th and 27th, the moon goes into Scorpio and it moves into your 9th house of travel and expanding your horizons and education and learning. And it's next to Juno in Scorpio. So there's going to be a real desire and kind of a... No, I think it'll hit... Something will hit an emotional nerve, as in I could have never predicted this for myself. I could have never seen my life turn in such a wonderful and encouraging direction, and I'm genuinely moved and touched that things have worked out so well because I never thought it was possible. So for you Pisces, this really is the month of hopes and dreams coming true, especially the ones you'd given up on. 28th and 29th, we've got the moon going into Sagittarius, and it goes into your 10th house of career, and it joins Mercury, the communication planet, which is now direct. So again, these 2 days are great for you to consider your career, or if you're a student or retired, what you're working on or towards, and to say, hey, listen, these other areas of my life have really improved this month. Let me get greedy and now say, if my work isn't ideal and doesn't make me happy, let me even consider what I could do in that area and what options I have there. And you'll come up with some good results. On the 29th of December, we've got Chiron. It's an asteroid known as a wounded healer, and that goes direct until the 30th of July next year. It stays in Aries until 2027. So the next 7 months, you're going to find it much easier to identify opportunities to change and heal your income if it requires healing. That's a very awkward way to say it. I think for the next 7 months, there'll be more job opportunities that come your way, and there'll be better options as far as your work is concerned, particularly if you're not happy in your existing job. Yes. On the 30th and 31st, the moon goes back into Capricorn, and it joins your 11th house, where you've got your transiting midheaven, the sun and Pallas all in Capricorn. And on the 30th of December, we have a black moon, which is the second new moon in 1 month. And it's a new moon in Capricorn, so it's again pulling in all this Capricorn energy, where at the beginning of the month it pulled in Sag energy, fire. Now it's pulling in earth energy. And it gives you the sense that, again, I get to celebrate these different options. And that's been the theme in every week here, that something good happens, and then you get time to celebrate. And then you make a little bit more progress, and it opens up even more. And then you make a little bit more headway, and things get even bigger. So here, it's asking, during this new moon in Capricorn, on the 30th, and the day before New Year's, what are my resolutions for 2025? Really say, in an ideal world, if I could do any job, which one would it be? What would I like to do? And you'll get a very concrete, clear message where in the past there may have been a lack of clarity. And allow yourself to dream big. And I hope the good things that happen to you in December encourage you to dream the dream and to think outside of the box and to really tap into the sense that anything is possible for me in my life. So week 4, the houses, the moon starts in your 8th house and it ends up in your 11th. So that's the top half of your chart. So really the last week is about taking that break, spending it with other people, and then considering what comes next in your work and how you can perfect that area of your life. So I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with in December. If you'd like a personal reading with me, so if you'd like me to look at your natal chart, please get in touch via my website, gregoryscott.com. In my personal readings, I combine different divination systems. So I use astrology, I use the tarot, I look at the numbers as well, so numerology, and I listen to my own intuition as well. I've got, in my natal chart, my sun squares my Neptune. So it's this ongoing negotiation, and I like to get as much info as possible and cast the net wide, and then provide an answer. So if you'd like me to look at your chart, if you have any questions around what's coming up next year, where you're supported in certain months of 2025, or if you have any questions at all, then please do get in touch via gregoryscott.com. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please. That really helps the video show up. If you like the video, subscribe for more videos in future. And if you think anyone else would want to watch this, then please share it as well. Helps the channel grow. Have a wonderful December, and I'll speak to you soon.